Alright, so today I want to talk about the ARMIGER. This is literally the definition of a budget champion. This is like almost like a legendary champion in terms of usefulness that pretty much everyone can get. I've gotten dozens of these guys. And before we get into the builds of what you can do, let me just show you his abilities because it's as straightforward as it is. I mean, this guy literally has two abilities. One is the A1, which decreases the turn meter by 30% if the attack is critical, and the other is the Lay to Rest, which attacks one enemy, and enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. Nothing special, nothing crazy, no fancy spells, just this. So let me show you what happens. As you can see, decreased the turn meter. So let's talk about how you can build the ARMIGER. Super quick, just before we get into it, if you guys are new to the game or if you recently started playing, I would urge you to click my link in the description or scan the QR code that you will see on the screen, and you can get Zergala as soon as you complete the tutorial. You'll get Ugo at level 15, then you can go into the promo codes. There's multiple promo codes still going on, so there's still Supreme 6 to get Supreme Gallic, or you can type in Monkey King. So this is just one of the cool codes. This is only for new users. Also, you can use Game Leap after that as well to get even more additions. And with my link in the description, of course, you will get a whole bunch of other things like rare books as well. This is like a package worth $60, so you will get an amazing head start to essentially level this guy immediately. Also, if you guys need a clan, I've got mine. We're currently level 4. We're updating. We finally defeated the hard demon lord, so we are progressing. Now, let's talk about the ARMIGER. So this is the most simple possible character in the game. People are essentially, I mean, this is an S tier uncommon because essentially almost all uncommons are garbage. There are a few ones that you can use, but there is essentially almost always like a rare or an epic that is better than the uncommon. However, this guy is actually super useful. Now, the build that I haven't actually built him that far. Let me just talk about this super quick. So the ARMIGER is, despite the fact that he only has two abilities, he has no aura. There's literally nothing you can even really do with him. Two super simple abilities, just a single attack. He's actually very versatile. Now, the versatility comes in the fact that you will need multiple ARMIGERs to build him. So the one that I currently got is essentially just a destroy set ARMIGER, half useful only for the Scarab Healing for the Doom Tower. However, he can also be used for a lot of other things. He can be used for that spider where you farm the artifacts. He can also be used for the Fire Knight, which is super useful, and a few other various different bosses where he can be amazing. So as I said, I mean, I have invested some into him. I'll probably push him further, but this is not like one of my main champions. Like, this is when the Doom Tower rotation comes in and we get that annoying Scarab King, so I just dig this guy out. Essentially, this is as far as I've garnered him. Some to level 16, decent-ish gear. Masteries are almost there, but once again, I'm not using him super to a really big extent. So let me really quickly explain to you what is even going on with the ARMIGER. So, as you can see, I mean, there is the A1 ability. Now, the fact that it is a A1 is one of the main reasons why it is useful, because not only can be used every turn, but some bosses, like the Scarab King, are going to taunt you, and when they taunt you, they're gonna force you to attack them with the A1. Now, if this guy is built, if he has a destroy set, and if he has the critical abilities, and if he has the accuracy, he's essentially going to decrease the turn by 30%, plus he is going to break his shield. So, I mean, you can also, like for Scarab King, you can build other characters, like the Cold Card, for example, but this guy is specifically useful because he's a turn meter reduction, and there's also some really meme builds, if you guys might have seen on Reddit, where people get like 4 or 5 ARMIGERs, they get crazy speed on them, and then they just keep slashing the boss all the time, so it just keeps decreasing the turn meter, and the boss can't even do anything. If you build it right, this can really be a broken champion. And now, this ability itself is... So this can be useful as well for a Scarab King because it attacks, it's based on the enemy max HP, but it attacks one enemy, and enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. This could be useful if you're essentially, for example, faction wars, when you got some guys that keep resurrecting others, so this can be a little bit annoying. But in terms of the abilities, I mean, I don't think there is a character, at least that's useful, because I don't even really look at the common ones, but there's really not a character that is so simple but can be so useful at the same time. In terms of the booking, as you can see, I mean, this just increases the damage by 20%, but this guy is not really a big hitter. I mean, this guy is not a nuker. He's a turn meter reductionist, and also he attacks the enemy max HP if you get a destroy set on him. So this can increase damage, nothing special. You really need the books for this though, because this decreases the cooldown by 1. Now the best thing about this, he's an uncommon, so you're gonna get him all the time. I mean, let me just check real quick, but there's almost always a way to get this guy. I've even bought him. Always, like, this guy always looks the same, but it's not him. But I've bought him multiple times on the market. You can easily find him. It only takes maybe a few days. As you can see, guys, I got like 1,000 of these green shards. I don't even have the abilities to open them. But if I opened all of them, I would get like 20 Armigers. So super easy to get. Rare books are very hard, easy to come by, but you don't even need the rare books because this is uncommon. You can just get him. So let me really quickly explain to you what is going on. Now, keep in mind, this is not the most optimal build. In fact, it isn't an optimal build. This is just a specialized Doom Tower build, and even so, it is not amazing. Like, I built him when I was just playing for a month or two, seriously, and I got some critical straight on him, and I essentially just put Destroy gear. Like, this is the only Destroy set that I had. Not the craziest abilities, but it does the job. So as you guys can see, the Destroy set destroys enemy max HP by 40% of damage dealt. In most cases, this is the most useless ability out there. I mean, there's so many other sets that are more overpowered, but then you get some bosses like the Scarab King that has that annoying shield about him. And before I understood what max HP even was, I realized that I've been hitting him and nothing is really happening, but this guy can essentially be used to slash his shield. So A1, slash his shield, decrease the turn meter, slash his shield. Shield is broken. Other characters can then kill him. So for this, now let me just explain to you a few scenarios. So for the Doom Tower, ideally you need more speed. Unfortunately, I don't have the craziest speed. Like, it's okay-ish speed, 150 something, not too bad, but nothing crazy. The only thing I really need for this is the crit rate. Now, ideally, you want to get as close to 100 crit rate because, as you guys can see, I mean, this ability is all based on if the attack is critical. So if the attack is critical, it's going to decrease the turn meter. Now, ideally, you want to get the crit rate to 100. So if you get the crit rate to 100, you can essentially decrease the turn meter by 30% every time. Now, check this out. I mean, you got like 3 Armigers, they got crit rate. Like, if you got a boss, they can just keep slashing, and the boss is not even going to be able to do one ability. So it is a little bit broken, but honestly, for this, you need to be at least a mid-game player because it's very difficult to get this much crit rate, speed, accuracy, and everything. So despite the fact that pretty much everyone can get him, not everyone can build him. Like, if you guys are looking at these abilities on YouTube videos, keep in mind a lot of these guys have a lot more resources, so it's not very simple to build. I built him with this PvP gear that I got from the arena, and this is just a destroy set that I farmed. So for what I built, it works okay-ish. So this is like 70%, a bit more than 70% crit rate. Almost always it hits him, but honestly, like, it's not too bad. I've got this guy, the Tribune Heracles, so he also has the max HP destruction with his A3 ability. So essentially, I only need this guy to hit a few times with the destroy set and he breaks the shield. Now, if you guys want to use him for a little bit of the broken mechanism, so to be able to attack him and even use multiple Armigers, ideally you just need 2 abilities. So you need, well, 3. But ideally you need accuracy, you need speed, and you also need critical rate. So crit rate, always get as close to 100 as possible. Accuracy, you're gonna need it because if you don't have accuracy, he's not even going to hit it, so it's going to be pretty useful. As you guys can see here, my accuracy is pretty bad. I'm thinking of replacing a few sets, maybe this set with something else, but then that would kind of decrease the crit rate, so I don't really have the resources to do it right now. But ideally, speed and accuracy. So if you guys have some advanced sets, just get crazy speed on him. He's gonna get turn after turn after turn, then get the crit rate, keep attacking, which is going to get the A1 to essentially do the reduction, and then the accuracy. Like, it's absolutely crazy how powerful this guy can be. If you guys got the gear sets and if you got the resources, like, you can build multiple of these guys. You'll always essentially get them from drops. You can easily upgrade the abilities, super cheap, super easy, and then you can just stack gear on him and use him. I mean, if you guys go into the Doom Tower builds, for example, you're gonna see that so many people are using this guy. Like, even in like end game, he can be pretty useful. There are other characters, legendary ones, that are better, but like, as I said, I mean, almost always like the guys that you get from like these low tiers like uncommons are almost always garbage. Like for example this guy, which is like universal food. So overall for the Armiger guys, you're gonna get him, save him, don't waste him unless you don't really need him after all. But keep in mind you can build multiple Armigers and you can use him for various things that you want to do. Now if you guys are new to the game or if you recently started playing, I'd urge you to click the link in the description or scan the QR code that you can see on the screen, and you will get Zargala immediately as soon as you complete tutorial. And I got a tutorial on her as well on how you can build her because she's super useful. You will get Ugo when you reach level 15. You'll get a whole bunch of things in between, so this is like a package worth $60, which is super useful. And then as a new player, you can go in here, you can type in Supreme 6, you can get Supreme Gallic, which is an excellent champion. You can use Monkey King, which is great as well, and there's a few more starter codes that you can check out, but keep in mind you can only do one. And also you can get Game Leap, for example, to get even more. Check out, there's a few sometimes floating around that you can get additional stuff in as well. Now, if you guys need a clan, few more spots left. I know it says 25 members like the previous one, but if you're constantly getting new members, I'm removing some certain members that are not active for a month. But we're finally pushing it to level 4. We're winning the clan wars. We just defeated the hard demon lord, so we're pushing as well. So if you guys need a clan, the Arena Syndicate TS4A. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.